All right, so dear devotees, we've come together and Devashis Prabhu is already on camera. So Devashis Prabhu is here. Acha, our Vila Govinda Seva Ashram is here. With 2 London representatives, perhaps. Is that true? Okay. Pandita, Rasakar Pandita and Sachi Devi.
Yes, Maharaj.
All right, very welcome. Welcome to Vila Govinda Ashram. And here we are with devotees from around the world. And I know that Saraswati Devi is busy. She sent me a list of the things she's got to do today evening itself. So she's listening from the kitchen in West London, like the Paramatma, she's listening to us here. So anyhow, this is the London Zoom. We've come together. So I'll pass the microphone over to Devashis Prabhu, who will probably invite us to chant Vandeham, some mini invocation. So Devashis Prabhu, over to you.
Yes, Maharaj, of course. Let's begin as always with the Vandanam and obeisance to each other. So I don't know if I it'll start going funny, but so, you know, if I leave my microphone on while doing it and you're doing it and do you know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. So Prabhu, you'll lead, I'll turn mine off.
Okay. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajivam Shadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakuram Militam Jaina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahabharanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Okay, that's very mini Vandanam, but covers the bases, I think.
But all inclusive, if we look and see what is there, in fact.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. And we were just mentioning about all inclusive. You know, some of you know that we invite devotees to lead a kirtan that gives them inspiration and that will give inspiration to others. And we were just mentioning you, Manindra Mohan Prabhu, when we asked you a few days ago, and we were expecting he's going to list one of the songs of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur. And then he thought for a moment, and then he said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So really, everything is in the Maha Mantra, everything is in so many things. And of course, today we're coming to hear about how everything is in the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And so Devashis Prabhu has given us the title, Sri Bhakti Vinod Parivar. Is that correct, Devashis Prabhu?
Yeah, we are Bhakti Vinod Parivar.
Oh, we are Bhakti Vinod Parivar, yes. So anyway, this is the London Zoom, and I know Devashis Prabhu posts my face on the advertisement, but Devashis Prabhu, this is the London Zoom, and we do have translation into Russian and in Portuguese, and we do have devotees from around the world with us. And so to all of the devotees, perhaps first you could select or read or say what you would like to mention on this subject first, Prabhu.
Okay, Maharaj, with your blessing and encouragement, as always. Yeah, I mean, as everyone I'm sure knows, that Friday was the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Gadadhar Pandit, whom the our great gurus, our acharyas, see as being one and the same, and also significantly disappeared on the same day, on the dark moon day. But that's another subject, more esoteric subject. But Srila Guru Maharaj said many times that we are the Bhaktivinoda Parivar. We are. That means we are in the spiritual family of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he is the you can say the root of modern Krishna consciousness in the world, a new phase of Krishna consciousness which he began and which was taken up by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in a very organized way, with the formation of the Gaudiya mission, and but all based on Bhaktivinoda Thakur's teachings. So we are too much indebted with Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It was his vision that that Krishna consciousness should be spread outside of India, and he was particularly eager to connect with the great thinkers, Western thinkers of that time, like the American transcendentalists, Thoreau, Emerson, and Walt Whitman, and various others. And he sent his writings, particularly Sri Chaitanya's life and precepts, to university libraries all over the world, including the British Museum Library, the Library of Congress in America, and other many famous libraries where those books are still existing today. Anyhow, Srila Guru Maharaj spoke about him, of course, many times, and we know that particularly he wrote this Bhaktivinoda Viraha Dasakam, prayers in glorification of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which he said this was the key to my Guru Maharaj's affection towards me, and which, after hearing Saraswati Thakur, said, although I may leave the world, I'm confident now that one man remains that can properly represent what I've come to give, after hearing that composition of Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj speaks about that himself, and I've have a transcription of one talk about him speaking that. So that's what I'm going to read this evening. I already sent it to the translators, so hopefully they'll be able to do their usual sterling job of simultaneous translation. So, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough still, so if I'm spluttering a bit, but we will begin. This is Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaking. So he says, we can also appreciate, to a certain extent, the inner tendency of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. When I wrote my prayers to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada appreciated it very much. When I presented these shlokas to Prabhupada in Darjeeling, Shroti Maharaj was also present there. Prabhupada read these stanzas very happily and pronounced them in a very happy style. He appreciated the poetry, the theological augmentation, poetical decoration, and ontological augmentation. Lokanam hitakamyaya bhagavato bhakti pracharastvaya grantanam rachanai satam abhimata nana vidhar darshitaha acharjam krita purvam eva kila tad ramanujadva buddhai premanbho nidhi vigrahasya bhavato mahatmya singha natat. This is the 6th verse of Bhaktivinoda Viraha Dasakam. What you, Bhaktivinoda, have done in general, Ramanuja and other acharyas, scholars, they have also done it, but your greatness and nobility transcends even that. You went higher. Where? Yadanna kalo dhamma chaiva nigame brahmeti sangya yayate. Yasmasasya kalaiva dukkha nikare yogeshware mrigyate. Vaikunte paramukta bringa charano narayano ja swayam. Tasya vangsi bhagavan swayam rasabapu Krishna bhavan tat pradaha. The 7th verse. Prabhupada also appreciated the gradations in this verse. Yad dharma kalo dharma chaiva nigame brahmeti. What is Brahman given by Shankara? Then what is Paramatma of the yogis? Then what is given by Ramanuja, Lakshmi Narayan? That is the highest course in all of them. But you, Bhaktivinoda, have come so far, so high, to show Krishna consciousness after passing and eliminating them. What is Brahman as generally conceived by the so-called theist? Yad Dhamna Kalo, that is only the halo of the spiritual world. The halo of the spiritual world has been called Brahman in the Vedas, and Shankara and his followers say that is the ultimate. The halo of the spiritual cosmos is an impersonal halo. And what is Paramatma? What the yogis are running after? Yasyamasaya kalaiva dukkha nirakaya. With great pain and penances, they are trying to find out the all-apprehending and all-permeating principle within. What is his attitude? Residing within, he guides the thing, the Paramatma, Yogeshware Mrigyate. That is the part of the part of the part of Narayan, that Paramatma. And Narayan, excuse me, and Narayan himself is in Vaikuntha. Vaikunte paramukta bringa charano narayano jaha. Swayam Narayana. Whose part and whose halo is all this? Along with the liberated souls, many of whom are engaged in busy service of that great entity. Vaikunte paramukta bringa charano narayano ja swayam tasyangsi bhagavan swayam. He is Vilas, and we are to aspire and inquire after the very source of Narayan. In following the quality and intensity of the rasa, we are to further approach the higher level, and there we can find Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan. You, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, can give that to us. You are so great. By your grace, crossing the concepts of Shankara, Patanjali, Ramanuja, and others, we are allowed to go further, higher, to Krishna Loka, Sarvachintaya Maye, Parapara Pure, Goloka Brindavane, which is the transcendental of the transcendental, where we find this Gyan Shunya Bhakti of the gopis. There we will find Krishna Lila. You, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, can give us the passport or visa for that land of Vrindavan, where the inconceivably beautiful damsels, the gopis, reside. There, in those pastimes, Krishna is giving himself fully at their disposal. Krishna has given himself wholly to their simplicity, plainness, beauty, and love. That you can give us. You can take us to that layer. You, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, your writings, your advice, your grace can take us so high. Shri Gauranu Anumatam Swarupa Viditam Rupa Grajendam Ditam Rupayai Parivesitam Raghuganaya Ashvaditam Sevitam Diva Der Abhirakshitam Shuka Shiva Brahmadi Samanditam Sri Radha Pada Sevanamritam Aho Tad Datam Isho Bhavan. The 9th verse. Not only Krishna in his Rasa Leela, but something more you have given us. What is that? Shri Gauranu Matam, that which is granted by Gauranga himself. Radha Govinda combined. He has granted Swarupa Viditam, and the quality of that gift is only understood fully by Swarup Damodar. Rupa Grajendat Adritam, the great Sanatan, the elder brother of Rupa, the Sambandha Jnana Acharya, fully appreciated this gift, and Rupa Grajendat Dritam, Rupa Goswami himself, imbibed the inspiration from Mahaprabhu by transmission, and Shakti Shanchara, hey Raghunatha, himself distributed the Raga Rasa, the love divine. Pariveshitam Raghuganaya Ashvaditam, and Raghunath has tasted it fully and developed it. Jiva Dyer Abhirakshitam, and Sri Jiva and Baladev Vijabhushan, they have protected it, given protection to that gift with scriptural knowledge. That is the conclusion of all the revealed scriptures. They have proved it in connection with other Shastras also. That is not a whimsical statement. It has connection with other existing spiritual scriptures, which in various ways are pointing to this. They do not express this directly, but other scriptures are giving suggestion to this Bhagavat truth. What is this truth? Brahma, Shiva, and Uddhava are only hankering and searching, but have not found it. Such a thing is Radha Dasyam, the service of Sri Radhika, and you, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, are in a position to distribute that highest nectar of our sampradaya to one and all. You are so great. Your position is so dignified. The comparative position of Bhaktivinoda Thakur amongst all other acharyas is mentioned here, and this is proved in a theological and ontological way. Prabhupada was very much satisfied with the critical, scientific, spiritual development and also its poetic beauty. Always he expressed his satisfaction with this and was very much pleased to find this Siddhanta in my shloka. And he expressed this also, that it is properly given in this shloka. He said that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote this through you, Sridhar Maharaj. That was the opinion of Prabhupada. And to someone else he said, yes, what I have come to give to the world, it is there. I am leaving it for the world. And he told to me, you have written in a very happy style. He was very highly pleased with this, finding that what was the real necessity, it was expressed properly. So far as we understand, this is the aim of our life. Whatever we are, we understand that our mark must be towards this. Fortunately, we have within us the capacity to understand and write about such things. Madhurya Rasa, Parakiya, Rupanuga, Krishna Bhakti is a departmental thing. So Radha Dasyam is another thing, a department within a department. It is Rupanuga. The Acharya Parampara is in that way. Its direct concern is with this. The consorthood of the supreme entity, Madhurya, has been delivered by Mahaprabhu and gives support to Dasya, Vatsalya, and Sakya. Anarpita Chirim Chirat, Karune Avartina Kalo, Samarpayita Manuto Jala Rasam Sabhakti Shriyam, Harihi Purata Sundara Duty, Kadamba Sandipata, Sada Ridaya Kandare, Spurito Ba Sachinandanaha. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. This is from the Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anarpita Chirim Chirat, that which has never been distributed before, so perfectly and so clearly was not distributed in ancient times. I found this shloka in the Bhavishya Purana, written by Vedavyas. The Bhavishya Purana was published in Sanskrit, and I found a copy in Madras. We found 3 chapters in the Bhavishya Purana dedicated to Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Dev. There also we found the names Rupananda and Jivananda mentioned. Jiva Goswami's name has been given as Jivananda, and Rupa Goswami's name has been given as Rupananda. And Mahaprabhu's preaching center has been given as Shantipur. So there is some difference. A discussion between Ramanuja and Madhvacharya with Mahaprabhu on the Vaishnav ontology is also mentioned there in the Bhavishya Purana, though historically it is not possible. But as Bhaktivinoda Thakur has shown in his Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, these Vaishnava acharyas came in the subtle world, not in the physical world. Madhvacharya came to argue with Mahaprabhu and establish his Dvaitavad. Ramanuja also came to argue with his Vishishta Dvaitavad, but Mahaprabhu answered in a mystical way, in such a way that they were struck dumb and went away in silence. This is found in the Bhavishya Purana. Mahaprabhu only spoke this mystical shloka, Anarpita Chirim Charat, and they were silenced. This has also been discussed in Jaiva Dharma by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Anarpita Chirim Charat. That which has never been given before is Radha Dasyam, the most secret object. The fulfillment of our life is there, because the intensity of Radharani's service has no parallel. When that sort of service comes in connection with Krishna, the quality and quantity of rasa from the Akila Rasamrita Murti is drawn in and is used in such a beautiful and noble way. That is not to be found anywhere and everywhere. To those that are in that camp, the taste of the rasa, not simply madhurja, but particularly that of parakiya, is superior both in quality and quantity, and especially quality. And if you want to have a taste of that type of rasa, which only Radharani can enjoy, then you have no other alternative. That sort of rasa attracts Radharani so much that the higher quality of the rasa must be there. And if you want to taste even a particle of that standard of rasa, you will have no other alternative but to get service in that camp. This is quite reasonable. There we are. Amazing. Everyone's gone.
Chamatkara. Yes, Prabhu. Really, we're listening. Scarlett, by the way, in Sweden is asking what book is this, but this is in fact a transcript.
Yes, transcript of talk of Guru Maharaj. I have some.
Yeah. And it is also familiar. And I don't know what date it was. Perhaps we were there when Srila Guru Maharaj was speaking this.
Yes, I'm not sure of the date either.
Uh-huh. But very intense and listening with all my ears, by the way. You know, like when things are like fresh, we add extra ears to listen. Anyway, I mean, super wonderful. And we are hearing there the glories of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, like who he is being described by Srila Guru Maharaj. And Srila Guru Maharaj then having everything that he's mentioned, like certified to us, because in this world we always think, oh, it's certified or not. Certified by none other than Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whose very life and soul was Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and who we understand from Guru Maharaj revealed what was in the heart of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And we know that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur appeared in this world by the prayer of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur that one of Mahaprabhu's own men, one of Mahaprabhu's own persons can come and give to the world as a strong preacher what was his wish to give to the world. But he found himself in such a situation in his life that he was not the person to broadly establish it in the battlefield. He was a family man with many children and with a responsible job, etc. And by the way, included in all of that, which is of course part of his pastime for being in this world, included with all of that are the extraordinary volume of writings and compositions and translations and the gift that Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave. And I think it was, I don't remember, 11 children or 9 children, something like this. So much responsibility as well as his responsible work, which was as a government officer, a leading government officer in the judicial system. And he was posted in different places, different ranks, including in Jagannath Puri, where many of us have been a little conscious about Puri in recent days due to what happening? Jagannath Rathayatra, indeed. And he was actually in charge of stopping bribery, stopping graft in the Jagannath temple, so that Jagannath will get all the donations and not all his servitors so much. Jagannath will get a fairer share of the contributions that are being made. Anyhow, I just mentioned this because sometimes we hear that, oh, we've got some duty to do in this world, we don't have time to do our devotional life, etc. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's doing all of these things, and he's chanting Hare Krishna, by the way, on his beads early in the morning, loud and clear for all to hear, as if calling someone, as we've heard from one eyewitness or ear witness who lived next door to him. So, as Srila Guru Maharaj points out, everything depends on somebody's capacity. And this kind of unlimited capacity was there in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, Devashis Prabhu has given from Guru Maharaj, from Srila Saraswati Thakur, he's given the substance, the understanding of Bhaktivinoda Thakur in a super way. And I'd just like to kind of add a little bit that this word Parivar, it means line or family, this kind of idea, but in a spiritual way. Then Guru Maharaj, he's not saying that we are Bhakti Siddhanta Parivar. He's saying that we are Bhakti Vinod Parivar, identifying Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as the beginning of the modern day family, if you like, the modern day line of this distribution of Krishna consciousness worldwide and of re-establishing the purity of Mahaprabhu's message to the whole world, but to India, where unfortunately, those who were supposedly Mahaprabhu's followers mostly had given a bad name to the followers of Mahaprabhu and hence to Mahaprabhu himself, that they were regarded with disregard. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur pointed this out too. And so when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he pores over me, studies, looks over the books about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then it becomes in his Leela, this becomes a part of his life when he just becomes so intense in that what Mahaprabhu is given is so pure, so high, so dignified, as we've just heard, what has not been given before. Because before Mahaprabhu, to find the names of, are we allowed to say, Radha, and with Krishna, we hear about Krishna and his associates and indicating some super associates, lady associates of Krishna, but they're not named. And then Mahaprabhu, he came and revealed readily about Radharani, about Lalita, about Vishaka, about the names of the principal Sakis, the principal gopis, and revealed in like direct detail of the finest pastimes. But this had become practically lost, except in a fine thread, as a narrow thread, maybe deep, but a narrow thread at that time in India when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur advented. And so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he very enthusiastically made commentaries, translations, and his own compositions to show what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given. And those who had come to distribute his message means Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, the 6 Goswamis. And then the parampara, that line of descending current, which is coming from there through to the present day. And he found that current coming through Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. That's where he's getting that spiritual connection into Mahaprabhu's current, descending current. But you can say hidden. Most people cannot understand what is in the nature of a Babaji. And a Babaji by nature, by name Babaji, is also not a distributor, but is carrying something very special and is internally continuing rather than distributing. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur recognized this descent of the current of Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is showing always the example of what is the conduct and this line, descending line, to connect with what is living in the heart of a living devotee. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur then came and presented all of these writings. And I saw once a list of what he composed, like in numbers, maybe the names as well. I don't remember how many it was, but it was an impressive list of compositions. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he began the upward trend of what had been almost a spiraling downward trend of the distribution of what was presented by Mahaprabhu. In other words, in the name of Mahaprabhu, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas were doing wrong, saying wrong, and had a bad reputation. And people at that time, just if they saw a Gaudiya Vaishnava come to the door, they just give him something to eat and send them away. And they had no regard for that. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw the not only dignity, but extreme value of the gift of Mahaprabhu. And he gave his whole heart and soul to re-establish, to show what was there. But he made this prayer to the Lord, that please you send one of your own men who will be like a very strong preacher to give to the world what should be given to the world, to clean up everything in a very bold way and give to the whole world this message of Mahaprabhu. And hence it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur who's given us the scriptures, given us the name, given us the guru, given us the whole connection, the whole structure for the nourishment of the devotees. And there is the shloka, Devashis probably has it there, is get like Guru Dham, Grantha Dham, or giving the Dham also. Think this way. There's a verse which says how Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like he's given everything through his writings. And of course, the Navadip Dham Mahatmya and the Navadip Dham, Mahatmya and Navadip Bhavataranga. These two books inspired revelation of the Dham. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the inspired revelation of the appearance place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Nimai Pandit, Gauranga Sundar. And so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was intent that the nonsense being told by those who were supposedly the followers of Mahaprabhu, that this will be eradicated. And the super nobility of what Mahaprabhu gave will be established and distributed. And that message will include that the name will be heard all over the world, will be distributed all over the world. And that the Kali Yuga, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is the prescription, it is the medicine for everyone. And so in this way, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur started this upward trend, this upward, after a big dip comes a upward wave. And he is that beginning of that wave. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur brought this in a very grand way. And that, as we have heard just now, coming through to Srila Guru Maharaj, with all this backing of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and through Srila Guru Maharaj, the stalwarts of the disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur are coming to him for their guidance, for their understanding. And in particular, we have Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who Srila Guru Maharaj prepared for his preaching all over the world, his people reaching, his distribution of the greatest wealth of the whole world and universe, means this chanting of the Maha Mantra with service mood, engaging in 24 hours engagement. And of course, Srila Guru Maharaj, he gave us Srila Gurudev, who was his hand-carved, perfect disciple, the perfect disciple coming to the perfect master. And Srila Gurudev, he brought the whole essence of Guru Maharaj, of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and in the middle, Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji, who Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave indication to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that here is that current, may be hidden, but it is there. It is there in Gaurkishore Das Babaji. And we'll see in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's compositions that he is giving all honor there, that even though Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj could just about write his own name, he was otherwise illiterate, but gave all honor that in the speck of dust in his toenails, from his toenails, then all spiritual knowledge is there. And so this way, again, a Babaji, somebody who's rather internal rather than coming to distribute, that connection was made. And because it is the etiquette that a son won't take spiritual initiation from his father, but yet his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, directed him also to Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj made the point about what was the principal difference, or like the root of the difference between Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the other offspring, the other sons and daughters, I guess, but he was referring to the sons of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this principal difference being that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saw Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his guru, as his spiritual master. And in the background somewhere, he is his father. That honor must be there. But he saw him in a very prominent first position as guru. So this way, from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we are coming to have that distribution through Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And so, who is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? We can understand from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and that continuing line coming to Guru Maharaj, those to whom Guru Maharaj has shared that gift, not only gift, but that the substance of the teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, hence Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, as a family, the head of the family, the head of our Krishna consciousness movement, the Krishna consciousness movement, their Krishna consciousness movement, the head of that, the inaugurator of this wave is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And then the question did come to Guru Maharaj that, but Mahaprabhu, he'd been here just a short while before, like 400 years before, then Mahaprabhu himself was present, and we see that the whole of India had become ecstatic with Krishna, Krishna Nam, Krishna consciousness, chanting, dancing, etc. So how is it that so quickly then this like degradation in the general followers of Mahaprabhu came? And Srila Guru Maharaj, he said, it's like a wave, a very big wave came with Mahaprabhu, big inundation, and said, and Guru Maharaj gave the example of a wave, but said, behind a big wave will be a big dip, and then another wave will come, and another dip will come. This way, then the progress is going on. So small wave, small dip, big wave, big dip, we can see. So we are now in a super fortunate time. Again and again, we remind ourselves, because this dip has just passed, and we are in that part which is the wave going up. And we have got every opportunity. We've got the purity of the message of Mahaprabhu re-established, the whole substance re-established and distributed worldwide. And we've got the guidance of how to do in a most practical way. And the maturity of the development of Krishna consciousness everywhere around the world, with its first introduction on a grand scale with Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. But then the protection of that and the development of that and the clarification of that being given by Srila Guru Maharaj, and that continuing with Srila Gurudev. And as we had here today, Ananta Krishna, an old devotee who we know since he was saying 1985, and we're super happy to have his association today. And now I got sidetracked thinking of Ananta Krishna. I was going to say, what was I going to say? Or as we are reminded, yes, what I was going to say, that he kind of gave a little analysis. 11 years Srila Prabhupada was preaching from zero, essentially. You can say 1966 was when something began. So 1966 to 1977 is 11 years. Though Srila Prabhupada went in 1965, but 66 to 77, 11 years with Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And 1977, he passed away. And Srila Guru Maharaj is that for another 11 years, so 11 years from 77 to 88, then Srila Guru Maharaj is very much central at the helm for everybody to come to, who following the guidance of Srila Prabhupada to continue their spiritual life. And Srila Guru Maharaj, this is a very rough calculation, but 88, Srila Guru Maharaj disappeared. And from 88 to the year 2010 was 22 years, when exclusively Srila Guru Maharaj is looking after everyone, taking that help, continuing that. So what has been introduced, developed to a certain stage, and continue to be developed and protected by Srila Guru, then Srila Gurudev continued that to the world, and in a most practical way. Gurudev, extremely practical, everybody knows that. And he came around the world 24 times. And he came around the world to show what is practical Krishna consciousness. So it's a super time. And saying about a super time, okay, 8:16. I better keep my eye on the time so we don't go running over. But anyway, this way, the identification is that we are Bhakti Vinod Parivar. This is that we are the family of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And this is the expression of Srila Guru Maharaj, that he told that we are Bhakti Vinod Parivar, that he is that Bhakti Vinod is the family head, if you like. It's not, family is not the right word, line is not exactly the right word, but it is this idea, this conception, that our spiritual wealth is headed by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, specifically in this modern age. Means in this age of the worldwide distribution, not just this modern age of 2010 or 2020, whatever the year may be, but for all time, for this worldwide distribution of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. So anyway, we have more London devotees here. It is the London Zoom, and we did give a little introduction, and we've got Rasamai Pandita and Sachi Devi Dasi who've come to Vila Govinda in Italy, and maybe we can invite them, either of them or both of them, to say a few words, and they both, I'm sure, have got something to say on the matter. Jai Guru Maharaj, Jai Guru Dev, Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai.
Jai Maharaj, Jai Srila Madhusudan, Jai Devashis Prabhu. Sachi Devi is just actually in the room, so it's just me, and I'm sorry about that. Actually, there's so much beautiful katha that was just said, and it's very difficult for me to follow that. But one thing I can share just very simply that comes to mind was it is 2009, towards the end of the year of 2009. I was with Srila Gurudev in his veranda in Kolkata, and he was talking about something in particular, and then he said that is given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And I think we all have that sometimes, where we hear Srila Gurudev say something, and he may say something that we've heard many different times before, like we're not the body, we need to be humble, like all these things. But Srila Gurudev's inconceivable potency sometimes it smashes through all, my ignorance and layers of misconception and anarthas, and it hits you, and he says something, and you're like, it's the absolute truth. And when he said that, when he said this is coming from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I had this feeling like, oh my goodness, like through Srila Gurudev, through his inconceivable mercy and compassion and overlooking all our faults, he's giving us a connection with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it was just this sort of moment of that was inconceivable. And it's kind of a simple thing to say, but actually it really hit me. And I carry that with me, actually, this idea that it's very incredible that we're so lucky to be in this Parivar, to have this connection with all these divinely most worshipable gurus. And because the line is so pure, we're through Gurudev, we're connecting with everyone. And that's actually that's far out if I think about it. So that's the only thing I just wanted to share. Hope that's okay.
Beautiful, substantial, from the heart. Srila Gurudev is smiling to hear it, I know. Hare Krishna. And by the way, in the chat, and I also would like to copy it, but I'm not sure if I can. In the chat, there is a link to the Bhavishya Purana, which was mentioned by Devashis Prabhu, which, I mean, just amazing that long, long ago, these things were told in the Puranas about Mahaprabhu, the preaching, etc., and the Rupa and line, Jiva Goswami's line, etc. So there is a link there. I don't know what the link is, but it must be to that. I can't verify that it is a correct translation or anything, but it's interesting to know. And I believe it's Naza who found that. So Naza, well done. Much appreciated in Ukraine. Yes, Devashish Prabhu, over to you. Saraswati did, as I mentioned earlier, she did say she's got a list of all these things she's doing. She's only listening. I hope we're doing okay, Saraswati, while you're listening.
Well, we have a few more minutes before our time is up. So I was wondering if there's anyone else who would like to say something on this or have a question about this or anything that we can discuss.
And Prabhu, we do have Kumkum Didi with us here too.
Oh,
and
yes.
He generally has got a storehouse of things in her top pocket to share. Kumkum Didi?
My dandavat to you, Maharaj and Devashish Prabhu and Rasa Pandita. So good to hear your words. And everything has been said extremely wonderfully. This is a great revelation for us to hear. And I've been thinking how, although we're inconceivably blessed by the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu, and we've always been hearing this, what he did, how he came to save us and everyone, and all of those who are following him, like Srila Prabhupada. And one thing about Thakur Bhakti Vinod that is quite amazing, that he also gave so much mercy in so many ways, but in particular for anyone who speaks English as even one of their languages. And this really helps us very, very much. We don't have to wonder about any of the translations where he wrote originally in English. And as Maharaj was mentioning, his incredible position in the British government, his alignment with them. And so he was such a master of the English language, and this greatly facilitated that particular type of preaching. Someone who appreciates Krishna consciousness and believes it is the highest and still does not practice whatsoever told me that they happened upon an article that was written by a journal in English government at that time. And I unfortunately didn't get the name of that journal, but it was such an appreciation of Thakur Bhakti Vinod. The article is about how anyone who truly wants to understand India must hear from this Thakur Bhakti Vinod, and these were not people who were sincerely seeking what he has to offer philosophically, but and as Maharaj is pointing out, unfortunately, the term Gaudiya Vaishnava was not well thought of at the time. But he won their hearts simply from his extreme brilliance and dedication. And so they were able to pick up on the completely transcendental nature of what he spoke, which satisfied their hearts so much. So we saw this so many times with our gurus, that even for someone who is not consciously seeking, they still become awakened. And we're so proud, we're so fortunate to know that we are in this line. So thank you very much, Naz. I'll definitely check on this. You can see in the chat now, Naz has, perhaps it's what I was referring to here, but we'll find out. So my obeisances to all of the devotees who are in this line.
Jai.
We see Madhusudan Maharaj's video seems to be frozen.
I'm sitting very still. No, I was just saying, it's finished now. I was going to say, whoever's administering can just see where all the strange sounds were coming from and filter them out and turn off that microphone, because a lot of us had some strange sounds in our ears just now. Okay, anyhow, all is good. So, Devashis, over to you. And, I really think that we've got lots and lots to digest here. And
For sure.
if there is anybody who would like to say something, put up a digital hand, perhaps. And Devashis was overseeing, I believe. And we've got the smiling face of Hari Gopal Prabhu translating into Russian, smiling face of Chaitanya Devashis translating into Portuguese, and the smiling faces of the West London Temple Group and the devotees all over the world. Look, now people are turning on their cameras to show their smiling faces. And Gurudev, he would also say, "Oh, we're happy to see your smiling face." Or many times when devotees come, they come, give their obeisances. So we are very happy in remembrance of Gurudev to see the smiling face of so many devotees. And those of you who are smiling but too shy to turn on your camera, and which are many of you, then we can also see your smiling faces through your name. So you can't hide. Devashis.
Yeah, Maharaj. For some reason, my video disappeared for a minute, but it's to come back now. But I can't get off the page.
We can see you.
Oh, can you? Can you see me? Don't know what's happening here. Sorry about this.
Prabhu is fine. We can see you.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. I can't see anybody now, so I don't know. These things happen sometimes, don't they? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh. So yeah, well, I think our time is up for this evening. But are there any questions before we go, or shall we close up for the evening?
It looks like Rajasundari Didi and Chintamani Didi has their hands up.
Okay. I can't see anybody, I'm afraid, for some reason, but oh.
So
Dandavats, the devotees, simply I have been just writing messages to Keshavananda Prabhu and got his answers about his trip to Ukraine. And he sent me a video. I put it in the chat, how devotees were on the kirtan with sirens, I don't know, around them. So I simply put it for you to see how brave devotees are. So you can simply download it from the chat and listen to and see it. Dandavats. Thank you.
Aye.
Jai, indeed, Jai. Many thanks.
All right. So.
Hey, Dandavats. My question is kind of I made this choice of coming to Jagannath Puri for the Ratha Yatra, and I completely missed the like pulling of the carts. Due to like I kept running into devotees and then taking devotees on little mini parikramas, like devotees who haven't seen Puri and our mat. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Like I came all the way here and I didn't pull the chariots at all, and I don't know how I should feel about that. So anyway, I love you all. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. You know me very well. I just wanted to say my thank you for your guidance always. Dhanyavad. Hare Gopal.
Govinda, Govinda, the one and only Chintamani Devashis, now in Jagannath Puri and didn't pull the cart. Just see, now we know. All right, thank you. Thank you for the chirpy, happy message from live from Jagannath Puri to London Zoo. All right, so now over to the secretary of the London chapter of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, Devashis, who
Okay, so
find us out.
Yes. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Upanuga Guru Bhagya Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All the world devotees Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitya Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Wishing you
Jai
all.
Sriman Devashis Prabhu Ki Jai, and Jai Kum Devidasi, our senior devotee here, Ki Jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi, Hari Bol.
Here you go.
Vanchakalpa
Vanchakalpa
Virka,
Tarubis.
Vipa Sindhu
Deepa Sindhu
Vyeva,
Virgacha.
Aditana
Patitana
Bhavyo,
Bhavanebhyo.
Vaishnave, Namo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.